Welcome to the latest Motley Fool scoreboard. I'm on Chalk Blue. We've got longtime fools Jason Hall and Lou Whiteman giving a 1 to 10 rating to a Moneyball wreck and a growth stock that became a value play. It's Lululemon, ticker symbol LULU. We'll rate the strength of Lululemon's business first, including factors like industry and competition. A 10 is invincible, a 1 is hopeless. Lou's at a 4. Jason, you're higher at a 7.
Yeah, just remember it's Lou, it's not Lulu. It's been a tough time for the business. There's no doubting that. But I do think this is one of the few legacy brands in fashion that has staying power and has proved that. Yes, sales have struggled in the past couple of years. I think that's more macro because if you look at the margins and the cash flows, they've actually remained pretty good. So I think the business is in better shape than maybe the perception of the business is.
Well, first off, kudos to Jason for, wearing the product, but thank you for not showing us that, that dedication to the job. Here's the deal. Lulu deserves a lot of credit for seeing an opportunity and doing a fantastic job capitalizing on it. I'm not so sure if this is just macro, though. The question is this a lull or the new reality? I'm not sure, but I worry it's the new reality. They have charging huge amounts for fashionable in-demand clothing only works as long as your products are fashionable and in demand. There's more competition now. There's more affordable options. I hope I'm wrong, but I have real questions about whether Lulu can ever get its mojo back. And I don't think the business really works the way I want it to if it doesn't.
I believe in its brand power, but I've been seeing a lot of more competition. My wife has as well. There's Alo Yoga, Athleta, Fiore, Sweaty Betty. And then you got things like Nike and others trying to, do as much as they can in athleisure. For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett, a 1 is Homer Simpson. Lou's at a 5, Jason, you're at a 7.
Did you just make up Sweaty Betty to see if people were paying attention on it?
No, that's a real thing.
No, I know. Yeah, no, it is. It is.
That's my nickname in high school.
Lulu, come on.
I absolutely. All right, let me get us back on track here. My 7 is higher than Lou's 5, but and I want to be clear, I'm dinging McDonald and his team, Calvin McDonald, the CEO since 2018, for the less than 3% CAGR that the stock has generated since he took over in mid-2018. It's less than 20% gains for people that bought that day and have held through to the day of the taping. But I want to give them credit too. The international business has grown a massive amount. Revenue has more than tripled. It's up about 260%. And operating cash flow is up over 180% since he took over. That's a pretty good job.
Yeah, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I think even my 5, we're giving Calvin McDonald a better score than founder Chip Wilson did. Right, because he's been very vocal about this, accusing Lulu under McDonald of commoditizing itself, making Lulu into the Gap. I think it's what he said, which, look, given what's happened and what's happened in this market, I think is understandable. The thing is, though, Wilson could be right. Lulu is only going to regain its valuation, regain its mojo if it figures out the way to be the must-have fashion icon that it was, as Wilson called it rediscovering its muse. McDonald, almost by design, seems like he's not going to be the person to accomplish that, so a very mixed 5 for me.
It's the Starbucks problem. It's what happens each time, right? You get bigger and you get more kind of commoditized, but then it's like, hey, where's the soul of Starbucks? You get the founder kind of coming back and saying, hey, no, you're forgetting what really makes Starbucks or Lululemon what it is.
It's all stretched out.
Oh, I should have just kept talking over you, Lou. For financials, a 10 is a fortress. A 1 is yikes. Lou's at a 6, Jason's at a 7.
Yeah, again, the financial picture, gross and net margin, they're up since McDonald took over, along with the strong cash flow and revenue growth that I mentioned earlier. On the other hand, debt has increased significantly. It was less than $1 billion when he took over. It's almost $1.8 billion now. The good news, though, is that cash has improved. There's about $1.1 billion in cash on the books. So if you look at the financial picture, again, I think there's the perception and then the reality says the business is it's in okay shape.
Yeah, everything's trending in the wrong direction. Debt, sales, earnings, margin, share price. Some of it is tariffs, some of it's all that. But, the thing is here, why am I still at a 6? It's still a $10 billion plus company that is growing. It's just not as growing as fast as it used to be. They bought back a lot of stock at higher prices. There's opportunities to do more of that now at lower prices. Look, the sky isn't falling here. Not a reason to get excited, but it's better than you'd think listening to me talk.
Lou, let's talk valuation. How well will Lululemon stock do over the next 5 years, and how safe is it? 10's a sure thing, one's a lottery ticket.
So for this to be a market beater, for it to come back to where it was, they have to get their mojo back. They have to become the it brand again, where they can really, really charge a premium for their products. That's not a bet I'm willing to make. I'm at 0 to 5. I think it's a market loser from here. I think they can turn themselves into a mature retailer that's not going to excite Wall Street, so maybe they can get up to market perform. But I am just not going to assume that that mojo comes back. Safety score is pretty low at a 3 because, you know, there's a lot of ifs there, but it's worth noting there's a ton of upside if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Lou, this is absolutely the stock that you and I have disagreed the most on in terms of our expectations for performance going forward. I came in at 10 to 15, and I think it could certainly be on the higher end of that. And my safety score is 7.5. I think the business is safe. I don't expect investors that buy this business, that I think is a high quality business and a more durable business than you do. At these valuations, I don't think there's a very high probability of losing money over a 5-year hold from here. And I don't know that the mojo is as lost as much as it is the macro's been tough. Yeah, the business is certainly not shining like it has in the past, but you're paying 11 times operating cash flow, 17.5 times free cash flow. And that's in a period where we know there's financial constraints with things like the tariffs. I think we see revenue growth stabilize and profits return to growth in the years that will come. Plus, there's levers they can pull to strengthen operations and do things to better market the brand. I think those things happen, and we start to see a multiple increase as well as just the growth that happens along the way. I think this is a stock that can beat the market going forward.
Thank you to both Jason and to Lou. They've given Lululemon a low overall score of 5.7 out of 10. Now, Jason's more bullish than Lou, and I'm probably more bullish than Jason. For Toppets, Lou prefers Costco. Sneaking it in there because Lululemon's lawsuit against Costco for copying their yoga pants. It's dicey. Jason doesn't have a Toppet. I don't either. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is American Eagle Outfitters. Till then, Fool on.
If there's anybody that's worse than scoreboarding Lululemon than me, it's probably Tyler Crow. But if there's anybody that's worse than Tyler, it's absolutely Lou.